Welcome back to your mat. This is just a short tutorial to help you build the strength and mobility needed for Peacock Pose or a variation of Peacock Pose. Now, this isn't a full yoga practice, but rather just a few instructional moments where we'll be going through some yoga poses or movements that will help us build the strength, like I said, for Peacock. Let's start out by warming up our wrists. Peacock Pose does balance on the hands. And so we want to make sure that our wrists are nice and warmed up. So just roll them around. And then start to massage your forearms. Then release the hands, flick the fingers. And then we're going to roll onto the belly, setting up for locust pose. Because while Peacock Pose does balance on the hands, there's a lot of back body activation happening. And so we're going to go ahead and start turning the back body on. Bring your forehead to the mat, lay your arms down alongside body. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, begin to lengthen through fingers and toes, through the top of your head. Lengthen so much you begin to lift up off the ground. And then notice what's happening in your shoulder blades. Try to draw them together and slide them down your spine. See if you can lengthen even more. Really reach through the toes for 3 and 2 and lower down. Press yourself up into a tabletop position. So from tabletop, go ahead and grip the hands to the floor like you're holding on to the lids of 2 large jars. So finger pads pressing down. And then float your left knee over the ground. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, open that left leg out to the side. Fire hydrant pose. Hold it right here. See if you can bring your left hip point down a little bit more while still reaching left leg out to the side. Find a little pulse. And then lower that knee down. And we'll do the right side. Float the right knee to a hover. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lift it out to the side. Hold there. See if you can draw your right hip bone to point toward the floor. But keep lifting right leg out to the side. Find a little pulse. And then float the right knee back down to the ground. Walk your hands forward, at least one hand crunch. And then we're going to move toward chaturanga, but keep the knees down for this one. Or for these few we're going to do. We're going to do 3 together. But start to shift forward so you create a line from your knees to your shoulders to the top of your head. So we're in a knees down plank. Then start to bend your elbows back, squeezing elbows in toward your rib cage, but not resting your rib cage on the back of the arms. Straighten your arms, push away. 2 more like that. Bend the elbows. Straighten and push away. 1 more. Pause and breathe here for 3, 2, 1. Push away. Sit back on your heels. Interlace your fingers, roll your wrists. This is Athena. She she's actually a secretive player. She doesn't usually play when anyone is looking, so we're very lucky to see her play right now. Release your hands, shake it out. And now we're ready. So we warmed up the wrists. We found those chaturangas, though chaturanga is a good preparatory pose, but what we really want to do now is kind of find a spot where we can bring the elbows in a little closer. So you want to try to bring your elbows in underneath your breasts or underneath your pecs. And so, almost kind of like a little push up bra, bringing the arms in. And I like to flare my fingers out to the side and hold. And so, let's come down to the ground and find that position first. And so, turn your hands out to the side so that your forearms shine toward each other. And just bend into the elbows. See if you can get up underneath your pecs or your breasts. Bend into the elbows and shift your weight forward. And then straighten the arms. So a couple more of those. And these are great preps as well. Because for Peacock, we have to get those elbows in close and tight so that they're supporting the weight of the body. Now, to get closer to your elbows, you want to open up your knees. So we're kind of in a thunderbolt position, but with the legs opened out to the side. And I scoop up underneath my breasts here and place the hands to the ground. Lean forward with the legs out wide. Start to tip forward and then lift your knees away from the floor. So we just find a little bit of balance there by squeezing the glutes and lifting out. And that's what those fire hydrant moves were doing for us. Once that becomes a little bit easier, you can start to play with lifting the legs behind. So scoop up and under, bring the hands down, lean forward, let the legs start to float up, and then start to reach your toes toward the back of your head. And then maybe stretch your legs out, squeeze your glutes. And so it takes time, it takes practice, and then just play with it from there. I am obviously not the best person at Peacock Pose. I'm still learning, but it's a journey. Everybody's is going to look a little different. So take your time, move through the drills as often as you can or as often as you like in preparation. Even on days when you aren't planning to practice Peacock Pose, those are great hip openers and back strengtheners to use just for your everyday practice. Anyway, I hope that this was a little helpful for you and that you were able to maybe find just a little bit of lift or have a question answered that you were curious about Peacock Pose. I'm out of breath. But that's it. Thank you for being here for this quick tutorial. Have a great day and send me a message if you'd like to see me do a quick tutorial about something else that I'm not the best at. Have a great day.